I'm back. This is Dan with Spirit of the Past Antiques again. This time I'd like to talk a little bit about our rental choices. I'm focusing in on 3 of our 12 locking glass display cases. We will rent those as complete units, or we will rent them as individual shelves. Now, Debbie and I, as I've mentioned, have been enthusiasts of antiques for years. And one thing that we've noticed when we've shopped, we tend, when we see something behind a locked cabinet, that unless we're really certain we want to buy it, we don't feel like bothering a sales clerk to come over and unlock the cabinet to look at the item. I've talked with other people who feel the same way. Now we know if you're a vendor that has something small like pins, jewelry, inkwells, whatever, you have to put them behind a locking case. We've also noticed, however, that sometimes those vendors, having no other space to put things on, are forced to put larger items in the cases as well. The cases cost money. It's one of the reasons I'm so proud of these things. These big boys here are made by Whalen Incorporated. They're still steel shelving units, 6 feet high. There's 5 shelves on each. If you look at the bottom, you can see that the shelves can be made to where they have a lip around them, which I think is great for when there's little toddlers running around. It's harder for them to pull the items off the shelf. Each vendor that chooses an item like these shelves can, of course, adjust the shelves to the heights they want. They can choose to have the lips. They can choose to have, like these top parts show, just a flat surface. And we'll rent these things out as individual units as well. A whole 5 shelf unit, or as small as 1 shelf at a time. The reason for that is we very much want to encourage small dealers to get into the business. We want to provide a place for them to do so. Most of them don't have room for a whole booth, don't have enough stuff for a whole booth, so they can start with as little as 1 shelf at a time. Now let's get back to these locking cabinets again. It's a suggestion that I would make. If you're a dealer that has smalls, of course you've got to put them in there. But we've talked a little bit about how people are reluctant to have those cases open. You don't have to rent a whole locking case. Rent the space you need for your smalls, and then save yourself some money and rent one of these big boys here. And what you're going to find is you're going to get a lot more room for a lot more product for the same price. And it's going to be out where people can get their hands on it and look at it, feel it, and make a decision. So many times they don't build up an attachment until it's in their hand. And this is the opportunity for them to get that attachment. So that's my sale point on those shelves. I know they're not a traditional site in an antique store, but it is something to think about.